I mean, let's just pause when the comes up and just tell me what you're thinking in the game. You need to
Yeah.
drill
Oh.
every game. Have a
Hmm.
plan.
Yeah. Okay. So here I was debating which side to start because they have Callisto Blitz, right? And that's pretty like volatile, like with Ashe and Alistair. But I know that Ashe actually wins that lane. At least that's just my experience. Ashe wins that lane pretty hard.
Hmm.
Um, Silas versus Syndra. Syndra kind of bullies him, but I'm not sure like the new rework Syndra. I really don't know what she does. I played her once and she was fucking OP. Not gonna lie.
Hmm.
And I played against her a few times. So she seems like she scales like a monster. But Silas is a lane I always like because he has a great setup and great damage, and like really good in skirmishes. It pairs really well with my champions. And topside is super volatile too. So Fiora versus Camille. I think I actually opt to path bot side because if Kalista gets hot ahead, it's kind of like really annoying for our team comp, and we can just get more done bot side. I think, and if Fiora gets ahead, I don't think it's like a thing where she 1v9s this game. That's just the way I saw it. Like the resources put into bot lane would benefit me more.
Okay, so you're playing Kindred, and we talked about this. So
Yeah.
why are you not thinking about the best way to get yourself fed?
I am like when I go bot lane, I see more kills. That's
Okay,
kind of
so
like
you want to pass from top to bot?
yeah. That's
Okay.
what I was thinking.
Okay.
I might go bot here. I honestly don't really remember what happens in this VOD.
Wait, so can you pause for a second? I'll ask you a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Say Calista Blitzcrank run into lane and Ash Blitzcrank Ash Alistair run into a lane, okay?
Okay.
How do you think the first wave plays out?
Say Ashe and Alistair are late to lane.
No, the same time.
Oh, same time into lane. I'd say that. Let me think. Actually, I think Ashe has like Ashe is better level one. She just has more range, so they
Let's
can
just
hit first.
think very carefully about
Yeah.
Alistair as a champ, okay?
He's useless.
Good.
Yeah.
So he's completely useless.
Yeah.
Blitz will walk into the wave, and
Yeah.
if they hook Ash, Ash will die. So
Yep.
Ash needs to play for poke, and
Mm-hmm.
in the first three waves, Kalista Blitzcrank should stack the wave, and Blitzcrank should have bot river control.
Okay.
So you are playing a bad matchup,
Mm-hmm.
right? You lose 1v1 very hard.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, this is in is like a classic Kindred counter, right?
Yes.
So you want to be playing for yourself in the first camps. You want to be pathing away from the side that doesn't have control in the first levels.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you want to play to one side and one side is like say bot lane is a better lane to camp, it doesn't mean that your first rotation needs to be to bot.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to really change this mindset because you're very inflexible about the way that you think right now, right?
Yeah.
So your structure should be okay. I'm playing Kindred. I can skirmish early, but in this matchup I can't really fight him. So there's two things I need to do. Either one, so first I need to path either away from Xin Zhao to the opposite side, or I need to have a prior lane that I can play to because the prior lane will cover my Xin Zhao skirmish. In which if he tries to invade me or kill me, my laners will move first.
Mm-hmm.
It's logical, right?
Yeah.
And the second thing that you need to be doing is you need to be going to the place that will get yourself the most amount of kills. You're correct that Syndra scales very well, but he's weaker in the early game, and Silas is a champ that will get bullied in lane. Syndra scales with the amount of abilities hit nowadays, because she gets her upgrades.
Yeah.
And so what's really important is that you actually play around the Silas lane, you play through mid a lot. And I would play to top because I know that my top side will have prior. And I'm not going to top because I want to gank or fight. I'm going to top because I think Xin Zhao should path the bot because Kalista will have push and Xin Zhao should cover. And I know that if Blitzcrank moves into my jungle with Kalista or with Xin Zhao, I will lose my jungle. So because of all these, I'm playing through mid-top early game, and then later on, after first rotation, I'm going to play to bot when I'm like level 3 or level 4, because the third wave will bounce, and Alistair will play a slow push into Kalista Blitz, in which I want to be there to cover the slow push, or I want to be there to try look for a fight. Right?
Okay. That's pretty clear. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so right now, your thought process is very linear to what side should I go, not what is good for me. You're a player, you're a champion too. So You should be active on map on tempo champs for sure. But if you lose 1v1 and enemy team has prior, it's very silly to go to that side. Right?
Yeah.
So let's keep playing. And tell me what you're thinking as you play, okay?
Yeah.
Like in my head, I think that if you play like this and Xin Zhao comes in level 2, we'll just lose your entire bot side and you'll get triple camped. That's what I think.
Oh, like he
But
takes
that's
red raptors and then like comes to my jungle.
Yeah, you can just walk into your blue. You can also just go red to blue and Blitzcrank can walk and you'll be fucked. You have no mid bot prior. But this is how I would play, but I think North American junglers are really bad. Same for European junglers, so maybe you get away with it, but doesn't mean it's good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be very shocked if he took his red and then they pushed bot into my bot side.
Pause.
Oh.
So we talked about this. Why are you not picking your lanes?
Pinging my lanes or peeking my lanes?
Peeking your lanes. Your
I
movement.
just wasn't. I was thinking about the bot lane, and I didn't peek the lane because
Okay,
I was
so
thinking,
this will.
yeah.
Okay, let's see your other VODs and see if they get
Yeah.
better. But let's just finish this VOD, okay? Because
Okay. I can speed this up. Probably.
no, just go normal. I mean, we
Okay.
have time, right? We
Okay.
want to be detailed in the early improvements. So, I think what's important is that you start to like memorize how matchups go, so you spend less time thinking about them.
Yeah.
You know, the whole idea of subconscious competence, right? You're at your conscious incompetence right now, sometimes conscious competence, but you want to be subconsciously competent. That's what
I
we wanna aim
remember
for.
what I was thinking this game. I know Zinzao is clear, so I know that he's gonna be super weak if he 3 camps to top side. Like I know he started red, and he's gonna do Raptors. So he's gonna be low, and I can kill him, because he's gonna take EW if he does Raptors, and that's useless in a 1v1.
Okay.
And if I find him here, I can just fight him off the buff, and I have top prio. That's what I was checking for.
Okay, this is way better. That's already way better. You can do this, but you never have guarantees that Zinzao will play like this, I think. And you have to just realize you have no mid prior. So for me, I prefer a defensive game. I prefer puffing up topside. I think that if Zinzao has gone red blue gromp to invade your red, assuming that you play properly, you're fucked in this game, because he will be level 2 with EQ. And unless he fucked up and used his spells without warding or without like thinking about you, then you'll die. Because in my head, what I'll think is Zinzao, at least at higher level thinking, in my opinion, is I need to cover bot. I think that Kindred will path away from bot side because he has no prior, or he should have no prior. And I know that if Kindred's pathing into top, he's most likely going to clear his bot side, so I'm going to invade his top side. So I'm going to fast 3 and either walk into top, or I'm going to start blue and path down. That's what I'm going to do as Zinzao. It's one of the two, right? But I'm never going to be doing red raptors because I know that Kindred can come into my blue buff. And I also know that I should be looking to fight him early levels. So I think red raptors clear is very bad for so many reasons. Top has push, like Fiora has push. And it's the one lane that you can actually play towards early game for yourself. So he should actually, if he wants to path to top, he should be playing to invade you. And if it turns out that you started red, then he can path back down toward bot and gank bot, right?
Yeah.
But that's what or try to find you. Like Zinza's job here, as I said, is to fight early levels and find the enemy jungle. So this is actually very, very, very risky, and it's very bad if Zinzao is here. But if Zinzao is here, I mean, props to you, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. He actually 3 camp spot. Like he takes red Krugs Raptors. I was confused why he wasn't here by now. So I ping my bot lane here.
I mean, it's good that you're thinking about this, the EW clear. This is just prophylaxis. You're thinking about what he's doing. But I think your thought process is like a bit lacking, right? Because you don't understand the bot matchup.
Yeah.
And if we played the situation 1,000 times, I think that you would maybe actually go into your bot side, just go red raptors bot side, because that's how you think about the game, right? That when I asked you.
Yes.
So in the majority of games, you may actually think this way. So it's important that we have this discussion, right?
That would be a normal clear for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we need to think about how we think, not just how we play.
Yeah.
And I need to like help you change your thought patterns.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're lucky. You got topside mark.
Yeah.
So Zinzao should know that his entire bot topside is gone. He used the
Mm-hmm.
turn bot. So you have an extra turn here. You can either look to go topside on this wave, or I mean, pause. Do you like this recall?
I was watching to see. I thought it would take like I thought Camille warded that bush, right? So I can't really walk in there.
Good.
And I was sitting here seeing like how long. I was thinking. I was doing like a trade off. Like how long would I have to sit here? I could kill her if I just sit here, because the wave's gonna go in, right? But how long do I have to sit here to kill her? And what would I be missing on bot side in comparison?
Okay, can I tell you a trick?
Yeah.
Just flash over from behind.
Oh, like that. This
Through
area.
tower, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can flash over
Through
and
tower.
kill her. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that. Yeah.
Just flash over through tower.
Yeah.
I think
kill her.
Chinese junglers. Yeah, and she's dead.
Yeah,
You don't
I've
need to
done
wait
this
for the
quite a
wave.
few times. I just wasn't thinking of it at that time. I can
She
definitely
has
kill
no
her.
flash. She
Yeah.
has no flash. She has ignite. And if you flash, you'll take 1 tower hit, so you're not lethal. And if she has passive on you, worst case scenario, you... Okay, so what you should be doing here is your ward that you placed on blue, go back to when you killed blue buff. Your ward that you placed on blue buff, go back a bit more, was what's the timer? 207?
228.
220? 228. This ward will last until 4 minutes. Whereas when you kill this grump, it will respawn around 5 minutes 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So what's important here is you get a second ward down, or you get a ward on raptors to see where Zinzao is. If he ever because he needs to check his top side anyway. So this is a good ward either way. So can you go back to can you keep going forward to like when you're about to recall? So notice here when you're about to recall after the scuttle. Without I can't see the time by the way, but it should be around 3 minutes.
350.
350, right? So this ward is about to die on your bot side, on your top side, sorry.
Yeah.
So I would use my second trinket to re-ward that area, and then I would look to go over and flash over and try kill her afterwards. That would be my plan. Also, when you're warding the blue buff, you should not ward the actual blue buff bush. You should ward behind the blue buff so that you can see him walking from wolves in case he did a full camp clear. This is better. The actual ward inside the bush is very useless because you're gonna take the buff now anyway, right? He's late to his top side, so you should be near where like the wolves are. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way that ward is bad is when he takes the blast.
There's a blast concur.
And he can avoid that ward.
Yeah, for sure. But if he takes the blast camp, if he takes the blasting thing, then his wolves are not being taken.
Yep.
And you're already dragging your blue buff towards you to the river. Or you can just run away by jumping over the grump wall, right? To the left side of you. So since in both scenarios, I think you're covered in both scenarios. And the only way that he would be here on the blue buff as you hit it is if he did some weird blue raptors wolves clear, the 5 camp clear.
Yeah.
If he did a 3 camp clear, he would already be there, and he would be hitting his grump. And if he did a 3 camp clear on bot side, he's not going to be there on time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once again, just a little bit more awareness on like how fast junglers clear, and a little bit more awareness on your second ward. As I said, warding wave 4-5 is very, very important here, right?
Yeah.
So this is wave 5. Wave 4 was 3 minutes, and when it met in the middle, it was like 3:30. So this is the wave 5 ward, and it's very interesting. It's very important because it makes you decide if Zinzao does not show on the top side ward, you can just take the grump away from him and play around top side. And if Zinzao does show on top, you can make a fast play on bot. If bot lane needs help and their wave is bad, and notice how you're not picking bot a single time this entire game.
Yes.
If you had noticed that your bot side needs help and Zinzao shows on top side ward, you can either gank fast or you can even cover with a high degree of certainty that Xin Zhao will be bot. So it just gives you all the information you need. And notice how this ward will die in 10 seconds. Just press play. So pause. This ward is dead. You have no information on enemy jungle, and you have no structure here on what you want to do next turn.
That's right.
Right? So you're basing with no information, both sides of the jungle dark, against a matchup where you lose early levels. Right? The only time you win is if he starts EW and he doesn't have Q. You're gonna get murdered.
Yeah.
You
Even
don't
if
know
I'm
where he is.
ahead like 2 kills, he can still one shot.
And you waste 15 seconds topside with no urgency to make a play, and Camille just fucks up, right?
Yeah.
But Fiora is limit testing here as well. So here, actually, because topside is pushing in, you can actually opt to just base and walk. Like, you could ward, and then the moment Fiora kills Camille, and you realize that you don't have to flash, you can insta base and run top again. Take your Raptors, take your Krugs, walk top, and play on the slow push. So it forces Xin Zhao to come. And once again, you have that ward, right?
Yeah. Is
Right,
killing
so you
her
have-
a third time ever worth it though?
Of course it is. Why not? Why not? You're getting yourself ahead. You can't match Xin Zhao early levels. You don't try fist fight this champ.
Like
Okay.
you're like, here's like, I guess this is my own experience. Like, I love camping and I love repeat killing laners, but like past the second time, I'm usually giving up too much on the other side. Like usually the other side will just start chain inting.
Yeah,
I
I mean
commit
the other
more
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have no vision on enemy jungle.
That's true.
Like, so say here you okay. What would have happened right now if you did what I said was you would have warded the blue grump area, right? Like 10 seconds ago, and then you would be recalling like around now the same time
That's right.
without using flash.
Yeah.
So when you open the map and you go to your Raptors, you have a choice. You're not committing to top without information. You're committing to top when Xin Zhao doesn't show top. Because you want to play the opposite side of Xin Zhao. If Xin Zhao has to show top or his top's fucked, right? So if Xin Zhao's a human being in a neutral game where top side is smashing the game, he needs to help Camille push the lane out because you could be top.
Yeah.
So this is the timing where, okay, Xin Zhao's on Gromp or is helping top, then what do? You walk into bot. If he's not top, you spam ping your bot and say Xin Zhao has to be bot, right? He can only be bot, and your bot lane doesn't die. But if the map is dark and you repeat kill and you tent camp them, of course you're not going to be in a situation where you're trading up because your bot lane will just die.
Yeah.
So the issue is just awareness and vision on the map,
So
right?
in that situation, would you think it's wrong to fight Zinzao on top side after Fiora gets 2 kills? I feel like that's the decision I would make. If I knew Zinzao had to come top, and my top laner would probably spam ping me to come top as well on their slow push. Fiora has 2 kills. Like, Zinzao hasn't gotten anything, like, too big yet. So, I feel like in that situation, it's kind of like, I would feel okay taking that 2v2.
If you have the information that is there, 100%, and you're not wasting time, sure.
Okay.
And if you're sure that you can win the 2v2, yes. Personally, I think that in this game, you're playing a defensive game. I don't want to handshake any 2v2. I don't care. I don't care about a slow push. If he already has a lead, I'll be there when he slow pushes out. He will cry because he knows he can carry. But in reality, him carrying is not a reality. He's probably going to throw the game anyway. And it's way more higher percentage chance for me to pick bot. If the bot wave is good, then I can take Drake or I can gank bot, right? Or if I feel like bot doesn't need any attention and Drake is not a good play. So for example, if this first Drake is a Cloud's Drake, maybe going top is better, right? It depends on the game, man. It depends on the game and how things play out. You can you can even make a fast play on mid, right? Like there's so many things you can do right now. The most important thing is like, first of all, you're not looking for enemy jungle. You don't have any information on jungle. None whatsoever. You're not planning out a defensive game. Like you don't win 1v1. So why do you what are you doing? You know, you're running around like when the map is dark. You're not planning around based on the information that you should have, right? And you're not pushing your leads aggressively and forcing Xin Zhao to answer, right?
Yeah.
And you can do all of this because he wasted a turn on bot. You need to punish this. This is high level gameplay. If you waste a turn on bot, you have a tempo advantage the entire game. But Xin Zhao needs to skip camps to be active on map.
That makes sense. I need information for all of this.
You need information. You need information, and you just
Yeah.
you're just running around, right?
Yeah.
And then you have. So remember how we talked about bad habits
Mm-hmm.
last we did, right? Last
Yes.
presentation.
Yes, we did.
And we talked about how double lift always associates gold with winning, when in reality it's a lot of other things. It's his positioning, it's his calling, it's everything, right? And how reckless associates never dying with winning.
Mm-hmm.
You're associating killing a laner more than 2 times as plus EV as something good. But where is your evidence for that? If your bot doesn't die and you kill top, of course it's going to be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot do this. You're targeting the wrong instance. Does that make sense now? Like you're not targeting the fact that you don't have information. You're targeting the fact that, oh, I've just noticed over thousands of games that when I camp with laner more than 2 times, it's led to it being bad. You don't think about why.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you think about it logically, there's no way it can be bad. No way. How can it be bad if you kill a top laner 3 times?
It's bad when it's usually like either A, my other side starts chain inting, which can be solved if I have information.
Yeah, and if they die with the information, that's just nothing you can do. Like
there's nothing I can do in that situation.
Bad,
or
right?
B is like the lane I camp starts inting and it's like, well, I guess I also just remember the bad situations, not like the ones where the other guy rage quits and FFs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually more than you think. You know, in my opinion, in my experience coaching high elo, if the other guy dies 4 times, he's just alt F4ing. And one more thing. You also need to be, you know how I said too many systems are bad? You need to be exploitative as well. You need to be able to learn to skill check or read the map or just change your behavior based on your team and enemy team.
Yeah, I want to be a more dynamic player, but I just don't have enough information.
Well, the most important thing is that you have systems, right? But I did say that you need to adapt to the game. So this is where if you pick bot, not just the jungle, if you pick bot and you realize, okay, I don't see Xin Zhao topside. I want to go top here because I want to avoid fighting him. But my bot lane is just so stubborn, and you will get this a lot of the time. Like if you play with the majority of North American players, they got giga ego, they won't care, they'll just fight. Okay, or they'll ignore your pings.
ADC will just int if you don't count them a lot of the times.
Yes. Then in that case, you'll be like, okay, I see a slow push on bot. They're breaking the freeze. I'm peeking my bot lane to see how they manage the wave. You can tell if they're gonna push out and die to the Xin gank, right?
Yeah.
But you just need to see the lane. But nothing that I just talked about for the last 10 minutes, you're thinking about at all in this game.
No.
At all. Right? So this is something that you just need to do. We need to drill this over and over again. Right? And I promise you, if you do this, I will praise you.
So what is the core? I don't want undeserved praise at all. Like I'm
you
battling
will get
against
the good boy pats.
Yeah.
You will get the good boy pats.
I'm battling against my nature that I've developed over like 3,000 games. So it's gonna be a struggle.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
So League of Legends is habit-based play, habit-based gameplay. You get rewarded by the most rewarding thing in League of Legends is winning. So anything that associates behaviors with winning, people will do. But it doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's good. This is the most difficult aspect of habit building. So, yeah, let's play. Let's play.
I haven't been conscientious enough to break that cycle yet.
Like this Fiora should insta-base, by the way.
Yeah. I should probably ping her too. That makes sense.
No, it's not. Sorry, it's not about not losing. It's not about losing, because you won't. I promise you, you won't lose if you play like this. You'll win. This is how the best players in the world play.
No, I meant like sometimes you will lose. You know what I mean? But you have to just not like take those.
Not really. No, because there are players that get 90% win rate to like challenger in EU West, right? And EU West is by far like the more like. If you do everything I say, including adapt to the game, not just systems, right? Like reading bot map matchup, and you get really good at matching enemy jungle, seeing what people do, you'll get rank 1. Like you'll get rank 1 with 90%. You won't lose. But the problem is it's hard to adapt. That's the hardest part. The systems are actually easy, man. Like the thing that I'm teaching right now is the easiest part of the game. The hardest part of the game is instantaneous decision making based off instinct and reading the situation. And this you do this by seeing how people play. So notice here, can you go back? Notice here how you open through mid. Go back more.
Yeah.
And the freeze is broken because Fiora opts to TP late.
Yeah.
What she should have done is she should insta-base TP and thin the wave, and then you play to that wave. But there's 0 pings from you, 0 whatsoever. There's 0 pings from Fiora. The moment I see this is what I mean by adaptation. I know that Fiora will have a slow push wave out. I know that my bot camps should be down. I'm
Mm-hmm.
peeking bot. I know that my bot is pushing out with a slow push far earlier than Fiora is pushing out her slow push. So Fiora will be in danger later than my bot lane. So
Mm-hmm.
here, I'm actually running bot. I'm taking my Raptors and running bot. Because if Fiora held a freeze and I had information, then I would go top. But Fiora is safe in the meanwhile, and my bot lane is not. But notice here, look, press play. Notice how you pick bot the top for half a second.
Yeah.
You pick mid, and you have zero information. Look
Yeah.
at mid, zero information in any other lane than mid.
This is just pure shit. I'm level 3. I haven't taken camps. I don't know where Zinzao is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if Zinzao could be in this bush, and
Yeah,
you're dead.
yeah. Zinzao could be right here. Exactly. Yeah, it's so
I was
bad.
saying
What
it's
the-
But like, thing is, you're never gonna notice this. If you play this, okay, if you're not getting coached and you play this solo queue mindlessly, even if you play 1,000 more games, you'll never realize it's the problem.
Mhm.
And it just comes down to awareness and perception. This is why systems are important. This is why I'm teaching you a different way of coaching than any other coach, because it helps you have a checklist of things you need to be working on. So here, as a system, I would always say, on the open, I'm picking my lanes and I'm deciding what to do based on my wave state of my laners, right?
Is that
And
the
before-
takeaway from what we've discussed so far? Like, just today's session? Like, is it peaking? Like, what is blocking
Okay.
my decision making? Earlier, it's like, so I chose the topside invade, right? But even then, we had different ideas for like, see, you talked about a defensive game where I don't even look for that invade. And I went for the invade based off of my experience where pretty much all Zinzaos off for 3 camps. Like Red Raptors Gromp, it's like 99% of Zinzaos go for that route. So I felt like I just knew I would find him there. Like
Okay,
9
so-
out of 10 times, you know?
But that's habit-based, like thought processes again,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Even if Zinzao plays like that, if you play to the opposite side, you're still going to be happy in the game.
Yeah.
For me, what I would be thinking here is, okay, you need to identify the habits that you can break in a day versus the habits that you can fix immediately. Or mistakes that are because of inexperience versus mistakes that are happening frequently. So what is a habit versus what isn't a habit? I think your early game pathing is just based on intuition. You had
Yeah.
some thought process behind it because you're thinking about enemy pathing, but you have a lack in knowledge in bot matchup and how you should be playing the game, defensive versus offensive game. So this will come with time. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Like we're in we're the 3rd week, right? It's the 3rd week. By the 8th or 9th week, you'll be pretty consistent. I guarantee you. This will just come with time. You just don't know matchups as well, and you don't really know how you should be structuring your game as well. However, what you can fix immediately is, okay, your 4th, 5th wave ward, finding enemy jungle before first turn. If you lose
Yeah.
1v1, warding the opposite side to the jungler, right? So if you can't ward Gromp, I'm warding Raptors here. If Zinzao's top side, right?
Okay.
And
let
then
me think about this for a second. So I do a defensive clear and I start blue. I do blue Gromp and then I head into red just so he can't invade me. For example, like this would be more defensive. And I take Raptors and then I look. If he doesn't go topside, or if he started topside, then I could drop a ward late, and that would be like the wave 5 ward, and I can catch him on the next clear. But if he starts red, then I'd want to cross back down and look for a ward on his Raptors. Is that what you're saying?
Here I would actually go blue Grumples because
Okay.
I think that Zinzao can. I mean, it just depends on the situation. It depends.
Yeah, what if
he's
he
in the-
invades? If I do blue Gromp Wolves, then he can catch me on red.
Yeah, if the only way that you can't get caught on red is if you go red to blue. I mean, so blue to red. That's the only way. Because if you go blue Gromp, by the time you're red, Zinzao can level 2 gank you.
Okay.
Level 2
That's true.
to invade. So for me, I'd like to secure my bot side. And I'm just pathing away from Zinzao. I assume that Zinzao is pathing bot because he should be playing to Kalista. And he's like in the winning matchup, whereas the top side is not winning.
Okay,
And
so
then
if
if
he
he's
invades
top-
you there, it's winning for your team anyway. That's how you see it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the only way that he can be top on time is if I blue Grump Wolves into like Raptors, for example, is first of all I have all 3 of my abilities, so I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna press W and Q twice. And second of all, for that to happen, he needs to walk through mid. He needs to do his red and walk through mid and invade top side. That's his best play if he wants to like invade. And I'll be level 3 to level 2. If he does a top side full clear to be level 3 and invades, by then the red is already gone. It's too late. Or it'll be like 1 HP.
Yeah.
Like Xin first 3 camp clears is not fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that fast. Like it's
No,
okay.
yeah, it's not that fast. I mean, he does Raptors pretty fast.
Yeah, he does Raptors fast, but I'm saying like, how can like what are the possible clears that he can come into red? For me, I'm thinking, red to red.
Yeah,
Like his red to
one.
your red.
Yeah.
Blue Gromp Wolves into red invade.
That's pretty slow.
And then yeah, which is pretty slow. I think by then you're both around
Yeah.
the same time.
I don't think he would make it if I get a bot
And,
leash in that situation.
Yeah, but even if he makes it, you have top prior, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm just fucking with him and trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And then the other one for me is just blue into red, right? In all situations, if he goes blue into red, I've secured my bot side. He's gonna be level 2. If he went blue Gromp and then red to hit your red, worst case scenario, you take your Raptors, you see your red gone, and then you run to his red.
Yeah.
And you're still fine because you're gonna be ahead in tempo, because he has to run from, like, think about the distance he has to run, right? He's literally not farming, he's running.
Yes.
Or you can also go scuttle and just give the red buff. It doesn't fucking matter. You're playing defensively, and just look for a tempo play and a tempo gank. There's so many things you can do. Okay.
Yeah.
But the important takeaway is you're playing a defensive game. You identify the lanes better. This you'll just need more time on.
Yeah.
That's not the takeaway from today. I'm coaching you this every day, and we're talking about lane matchups, and it just takes a lot of time because there's so many champions, so many matchups, right?
That's right.
But what you can take away is, once again, the ward in the enemy jungle, like the timing of the enemy jungle ward. Generally, like 4 minutes is best. 340 to 4 minutes is best. Ward at 230 is way too early. You're not gonna know anything.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know what he's gonna do after base. The important thing is you want to know what he does after his base. And the second thing to take away from this is when you base and you're in base, and you've just recalled, you scan all 3 of your lanes, and you look at the lane states, and then you decide what you're gonna do. Not the other way around. Right? Those are the 2 takeaways you should be taking away. That's so easy to fix, right? Every time you base,
Look at
every
all 3
time you
lanes.
fucking base, look at all 3 lanes. If there's a lane about to get dove, you need to run there. Of course you need to run there. Like, for so many reasons. First of all, if they're already getting dove and you're super late, there's something wrong in your previous structure, and this should never ever happen, right? Ever. In this game, I think it's fucking impossible anyway. You have Alistar, it's so hard to dive.
Yeah.
And then, or your lane is fucked up, right? And the second thing is, if the timing that people dive, if you recall it, like that wave 4-5 timer, should be the time. You should have enough time to be able to cover, because the enemy jungle is also basing around then, or based a little earlier. So, like, there's no free dive that should happen. And even if you're slightly late, there's a chance that you can always catch 1 kill, right? So you should be defending anyway in most cases, right? So you need to first of all think about where your priors are, if you can use that prior offensively or defensively, and then determining what your wave state of your laners are, and then choosing your decisions off of that. If Ashe is playing aggressively, you have ward and enemy jungle, and then you think that she's gonna fuck it die anyway, then you have to run bot, right? That's the that's the
This
hard
situation, this makes me think. Yeah, we talked about that game where I went like 1-7 earlier, and this situation came up. So the other guy it's Trinimir versus Aatrox. I was like, okay, Aatrox is gonna beat the shit out of Trinimir, and Trundle might look for a dive top because Trinimir is kind of useless and he can't really do anything when you dive him. So I was like, okay, I can cover. Like, I saw the dive coming before the game started. But I would go there, and then, like, you talk about, like, this timer that they dive, like, you would only be able to anticipate that if you know, like, kind of before the game, right?
I mean,
like-
when I go into game, and I see, I mean, at the earliest they can dive should be wave 3.
Yeah,
wave
like,
2 dives are
like
real-
level 3 dive is the fastest they
Yeah.
can dive.
I mean, second wave dive is so fucking hard, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's possible, but you have to take a really bad trade. So before the game, if I'm loading into the game in Champ Select, I already know who's gonna get dove in that game.
Yeah.
right? Or I know who
Tiny.
can get dove in the second turn.
Yeah.
Or I know that no lanes can get dove, and I know that I need to play for myself.
Mhm.
I would argue in general, like even if someone gets dove, there are times where you should just play for yourself and play for enemy jungle.
Mhm.
If it completely fucks your path, for example, like say you're playing Kindred into Xin Zhao again, and your top side is playing, I don't know, what's the useless champ, like
Vladimir.
Kinumel or something,
Yeah.
or Vladimir, or maybe not Vlad. Vlad's kind of hard to dive, like something easy to dive, right?
Okay,
Like
Tebow.
enemy teams playing Redacton into, I don't know, Quinn, and maybe not Quinn. Quinn's good for, I don't know. I can't think one off the top of my head. Okay.
There's
But the
many
main thing is,
useless top champs that
like,
get
let's just
down.
say you have to path top,
Yeah.
but the enemy jungle can like split map or something, and you lose your half of your jungle. Of course, you can't cover. You just play for yourself and you take his jungle, right? It's
Yeah.
just situational. But the
Okay.
most important thing is you press B, and when you're coming out of fountain, where the fuck is the info? The only thing I know in the last 4 minutes, the only lanes I've seen is top and mid, right?
And
you've
mid
picked
was for
three
like
ti-
1 second. Yeah.
You picked 3 times in 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's awful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Press play. Let's see.
Yeah, this is.
No.
Oh my god.
What is happening, bot? What is happening, bot? I need to know what is happening, bot. If you have bot prior, you can also play for Drakes, right? There's so many
That's
things
right.
you can do here. Okay, pause. What is happening top? Can you be top on tempo? Xin Zhao cannot be here. You have Ripple warded, you have Scuttle warded, and you have mid warded. Unless he ran through that tiny gap in vision in mid, through your jungle into top try.
What if he just
Zen
went
cannot be
through
here.
lane? Couldn't he just sit in there? Like, he saw Camille had a slow push. Or
Of
Camille
course,
could.
Of course. Okay. Say you're playing Xin Zhao.
Yeah.
Wave has just crashed.
Yeah.
You don't know where Kindred is.
Mhm.
You're spending 40 seconds in that bush, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, would you go to this lane if you're Xin Zhao?
Probably
wave is
not. I mean, I have no idea what the fuck Sinzao is doing right now, so I can't tell.
I mean, I think a high percentage chance, we could go back and watch this.
Yeah.
He's right now on Wolves or Raptors.
Well, Ash sends an arrow, so we might know very soon.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, his Raptors are
Wolves.
up.
Wolves, it's going to be Wolves.
That shit's gone. So
Oh.
he's probably going top, actually.
Go, keep going.
Nah, it stops. He's either at Gromp or he's going top right now. That makes sense.
Okay,
The
so
Wolves are gone.
wait, pause. So, okay, so you know he's top.
Yeah.
He's going to puff. You think he's going to go top? Because Wolves are gone, he's going to go Gromp into top?
He could either already be top or he's just sitting at his Gromp. He's not gonna go top after now. He's either
He can't be
covering
Wolves,
that
'cause
gank.
the arrow saw him, right?
Yeah. So he would go. He would either be at Gromp or he'd be on his way top, like in that bush. And if he's not in that bush, he's not gonna go back top because it just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
That
So-
he would
so-
spend way too much time.
Do you think there's any world where you could dive bot?
Yes. In this situation, I'd have to look at their HP. Zinzao won't be there, so and
That
Sauce
was
looks
my-
like he
I
has a
was being
shot.
sarcastic.
Oh,
You just don't know. You just don't fucking know.
yeah.
You-
Well, if you don't have information, you don't know. But I mean, I can't tell from here.
I mean, maybe Callista's full HP. Maybe he's 1 HP. I don't know. I haven't seen bot lane the entire game, so
That's true.
you know, like this is where I would be like, okay, let's just say Callista's 2 HP,
Yeah.
and the wave is about to crash, and you have a stacked wave. It looks like a stacked wave.
Yeah.
So it takes another 20 seconds to crash bot wave. You can be bot on time.
Yeah.
Callista has to catch this wave, but they can't dive as 2. Callista's 300 HP, and you realize you can 100% dive bot, but you've missed a chance. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that's not the case. I think it's very unlikely given the matchups, right? Very unlikely, but it's possible. But I don't know, right?
Yeah.
If
I'm
bot is
cutting off my own
diveable,
options.
if bot is diveable, you should go bot. You should not cover top to 2v2. It's way better to go bot because you know that Xin Zhao is top side. You don't need to handshake the 2v2. You can just go to the opposite side, and the trade bot is better because Fiora can play safe, right? You can spam ping. You can even take Drake. There's so many things you can do here. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play. What happens? This
Since
is
I was
level
bot.
1 Krugs. Okay?
Yeah.
So now you're going top on a slow push lane with 0 value, killing a first level Krugs, and you have zero. Pause. You have 0 camps to steal topside. 0.
Yeah.
Max, you have Gromp. You have, I don't know if you have 2 camps or 1 camp bot. Xin Zhao is bot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're ganking top with 0 setup on a slow pushing out wave that Fiora wins 1v1 on,
Mm-hmm.
where try could be warded.
Yeah.
And you've just done all this to get a level 1 Krugs. What's happening bot still? I don't know. Let's press play. Does this even work?
I think it does.
How does this work? He just fucking hook shots out, no? Wait.
I
There's no way
misremembered. I thought I killed this guy. I swear I killed him like very soon. I'm pretty sure I killed him here.
It's the most insane thing I've ever seen.
There you go. There's no way he just runs out, right?
I mean, he just walks away, no?
Yeah, he just walks away.
He should press B.
Yeah, I get my
job.
mark.
You've taken Gromp. Yeah, you get your mark.
And I'll get Crab here and then reset. That's probably what's gonna happen.
I don't know. It's just so flip.
Like, it's awful. Like this just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but in the game it does, right?
In the game, actually, I think my brain fucking numbed.
But we got okay. This is good though. We got two really good habits out of this, right?
Yeah.
Base and you speak your lanes, and you decide based on your weight.
It's better to get exposed. I tried to pick like games where I know I played like shit.
Yeah.
Than ones I fucking like ran them down.
I mean, for me, any game that feels awkward in solo queue where everyone's playing really bad should be the games that you should review. Any game. If you ever have dead time in a high elo game, for sure something is wrong. Because
I agree. Yeah, you should never just be sitting around. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like the good games, you're always doing something.
Yeah, like when everything clicks. Yeah. But you have to realize when everything clicks, it's not always for no reason. It's not because the enemy team's inting. A lot of the time, it's because you're doing the right things. But how do you know if you're doing the right things if you're just relying on pattern-based behavior? Everything you've been doing in this game is pattern-based behavior. Yeah. Xin will do this because it's high percentage. He will be here, and this may work depending on how Camille plays. You're not proactive and not thinking about what to do based on information. It's all guesswork. You still don't know if your bot side camps are up, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't been there like once. I also have not peeked bot side at all this entire game. Even though originally when I talked to you, I said I was gonna go bot.
You should. Yeah. Ash is winning after bounce.
Yeah. Because the matchup makes sense. I don't know what the fuck. I guess I just like checked out after I didn't find Xin Zhao and Gromp. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me.
I mean, okay, this is all good. You don't need to beat yourself over it. It's good. This is good because
yeah, it's good to like get exposed. I need to figure this out.
So the two habits, just remember, okay? Picking
Wave
out a
5
lane
ward and peeking lanes.
Wave 4 or 5, it doesn't matter.